Yes, this is the kind of comment I like. I love it when I receive a comment from someone not asking for my email address so they can send me pictures so I can assess their hairline. Ultimately, so I can tell them what I think of it so that they can still freak out and then just ultimately say they need to go back to their therapist. And yeah, exactly. Because that's one of the main things I talk about on this channel is if you're so obsessed and fearful of your hair loss, chances are there's something in your childhood that you never dealt with and resolved fully. So something as superficial as hair loss combined with the age of constantly asking your phone if you matter on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that, do I matter, is what you're ultimately asking when you're asking a question when you type stuff in your phone or put pictures. You're asking, do I matter? Am I important? But finally, this is a comment that I can share with everyone because I think it's helpful and it's sincere, because I'm all about helping people manage their hair loss, not to save them from going bald. So that's why I can appreciate GC 1993. I made a video called "The Cure for Male Pattern Baldness is to Take Female Hormones," which was obviously based on someone else's comment. And I was like, well, if it means that much to you, then why don't you just become a woman? Wouldn't that save all your problems? So that was that video. But our friend GC93, I like this comment, quote, "Nick, I always figured you had no crown thinning until I saw a video of you with short hair and showing the back. Your crown looks about on par with mine, yet I cannot seem to style it in an appealing, hiding manner. Can you make a tutorial on how you yourself style your crown?" So I did recently release a video showing the product that I'm using, and you can actually see how I style my hair. I mean, there's really nothing that special about how I do it, but it's got to be phenomenal. And it's the molding paste number 4. That's the natural touch thickening hold. This is what I'm currently using. So you can check that video to see how I do it. I'm making this video basically to kind of explain the approach and why I have this hairstyle and why right now I'm trying this out. And I know that people in the comments will say, well, that's because they're giving him $25,000 to talk about it. No, I have yet to feature any kind of pomade product where the company actually even left me a comment and says, thanks for the shout out. That's yet to happen. Even though we have confirmed I'm the number 4 hair loss YouTuber in the world, and I have the most, I'm number 1 for number of videos in the world by a long shot. So it is interesting that brands aren't reaching out to me, at least for pomade, because guys with receding hairlines definitely care about pomade. We want to have something that doesn't expose our thinning that much more, and we're always trying to find the best hairstyles that really downplays the whole situation while at the same time maybe embracing it some, but that's, you know, effective. So yeah, so this is what I'm using. But here's the basic concept. So yes, if you've watched my videos from, let's say, summer of 2018, you're going to see where I was growing out a zero guard buzz cut. And a lot of those videos I shot purposely outside in the Tennessee summer sun so that it looked the worst outside. And I shot it on my phone, which has some kind of filter which makes everything blurry. So it looked awful on purpose. And I wanted you to see that because I knew that once my hair started growing back, people would be amazed that I still was able to grow that much hair. And that was to prove a point that those of us who have diffuse thinning, we can only work with certain lengths in our hair. For me personally, I feel the zero guard buzz cut flawless. I feel, for me, that looks best out of any hairstyle. Aside from that, it's got to be about maybe 1.5 inches would be about the shortest I could go, but even then it's going to show some thinning. If I had the right hairstyle, I could probably make it look all right, but I feel more comfortable when it's at least 2 inches long. Right now it's about 3.5 inches long. It doesn't have to be this long, but for this hairstyle, that's what this requires. So for me, as far as covering up the crown, as it's put, and I totally agree, when my hair is shorter and I turn around and you see it, it's much more obvious that there's definitely thinning going on back there, and it just kind of falls flat. But with this hairstyle, and it was funny, this was an afterthought with this hairstyle as far as it covering that up. For me, what I wanted to do was have this kind of a loose look here where that would prevent me from having a part. That's really what I wanted to go for. And I thought, well, with some length that will create the illusion of some volume. But what I didn't consider was, but when you look behind my hair, because this is 3 inches long, it's going to cover more of that back. So ultimately, I think this definitely is a great hairstyle. And I think a lot of people who watch my videos have more hair than I do, as far as your diffuse thinning is not as severe as mine up here. So, but either way, I mean, for me, this has come up in the video. People have said, okay, well, yeah, but once you turn 50 and you have an official bald spot in the back, and maybe it's starting to, this part is detaching, it's kind of getting into the Norwood 4 territory, what are you going to do then? And we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I may start buzzing my hair off by that point, but I may just keep having hair and accepting that by that point, however old I am, 45, 50, that this is how men look that still have hair. A lot of us, if we still have hair, then we've got a balding spot. I very well could see that at that point in my life, I'm just going to rock it. I mean, if that were the case right now, with me still being under 40, I don't know for sure how I'd deal with that right now. Maybe I would just buzz it off for now. But I think the older you get and the more hair you surprisingly still have, you come to this conclusion of, well, let me look around at everybody else my age and see what kind of work. And I think that's important to a degree. There's the downside of it, in that so many of the people who watch my videos regularly are addicted to social media and constantly asking the whole world, do I matter? Am I important? Am I good enough? And they're not asking questions, they're making statements. They're posting pictures, but it's always a question, do I matter? That's what they're asking. But I think it's important just to have a general idea of however old you are, what's kind of normal for hair loss for your age, and to kind of compare it to that. So to have a completely bald spot back here at 50, it wouldn't bother me. If I still had all this hair and I had a bald, I wouldn't be bothered by it. I'm like, hey, I'm 50. But if you're 25 and that's happening, I can understand you might want to just cut all your hair off, because in that way it accentuates your age in a way that just shaving off your hair would actually make you look younger. And I've made videos about that before, how shaving your hair all off, depending on your age and some other things like your maturity level, can actually make you seem older in a good way, but younger physically when you combine the fact that you actually have all the other things that make you seem mature. So it definitely is an experimental process, and that's one of the reasons this channel exists. It allows for exploration. I think so many viewers want my channel to be so limited for me to only have certain views, and okay, well, Nick, if your hair looks best shaved off, why don't you just keep doing that? People who like to say that. But for me, it's about experimenting, working with what I have, and sharing that with other people. So I hope that answers your question. Ultimately, it's a matter of, I think you just need to experiment with hairstyles. I think that, yes, obviously, if you have longer hair, it's going to help downplay any thinning that you're going to see to some degree. But if your thinning's severe enough, it's not actually going to help with that. So you have to basically determine, will having longer hair help or actually hurt me? And of course, too, while it is 3.5 inches on top, it's a number 4 on the sides and the back. So it's all about that balance too. I'm again creating this idea that I have thicker hair than I actually do. And believe me, if you've seen the actual video where I am using this product for styling my hair, what you're going to see is my hair looks pretty bad without any pomade in it. And so this hairstyle is not self-sufficient. It's completely dependent on me having pomade. And this is his molding paste. And that's one of the reasons I chose it, because I've never experimented with anything with the word paste in regards to a hair product before. And it even said thickening. So I thought, well, closing thought. For a while, for so much of my life, I was using Murray's pomade, which is designed for African American people, for black people. And I loved the product in college. Back when my hair was thicker, it was awesome. I had this short, spiky hair. But as I've gotten older, my hair's gotten thinner. I realized that stuff actually, it's so oily that it shows my diffuse thinning. So I've had to change my product, and I'm always experimenting with new ones. So far, and I want all of you to be the judge, so far, that's got to be true, phenomenal, for groom style thickening is what I'm really enjoying. I haven't had a whole lot of time to try it out yet completely, but you're the free market. You get to be the judge. Comments, they belong right here.